Hi, my name is Derek Bell, and my presentation is on the Mesozoic Extinction. So, you might be wondering, what is the Mesozoic? The Mesozoic is an era in Earth's history. It's a big chunk of time, and it happened between 252 million and 66 million years ago. This era is split into three parts: Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous periods. Before the Mesozoic, there were many other eras in Earth's history. Eras are like big chunks of time in Earth's history, and the one directly before the Mesozoic was called the Paleozoic. During this time, there were no dinosaurs yet. The Paleozoic era ended with a big event called the Permian extinction, where many species died out, and this sets us up for what happened in the Mesozoic era. As the Mesozoic started, Earth was slowly healing from the Permian extinction, and the land started breaking apart, forming continents. The Mesozoic is famous for dinosaurs. They roamed the land, flew the skies, and swam the oceans. Different types of dinosaurs ruled during each period. So in a nutshell, the Mesozoic era is like the dinosaur age, with three main acts: Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous. It's a cool chapter in Earth's history when the dinosaurs stole the spotlight. So, what is an extinction event? An extinction event is a major event in Earth's history when a large number of species die out in a relatively short period of time. This can happen because of big changes in the environment or the weather, like really hot and cold temperatures or natural disasters. When an extinction event happens, it messes with the way animals and plants live and can change the weather or even the landscape. Sometimes new animals and plants take over after the old ones are gone, because these old ones may have been the dominant animals of the period or may have been predators to the new animals, and now they're able to take over and adapt. So, what was the cause of the Mesozoic extinction? When massive objects in space exist, they create gravitational pulls. This is how all of our planets orbit around the sun, and this gives us a clue into what happened in the Mesozoic extinction. The Earth has its own gravitational pull and can sometimes attract objects near the Earth or that are just passing by in space. In the case of the Mesozoic era, a meteor from space crashed into Earth and caused the extinction. Now you may be wondering, how could a meteor cause the extinction if it just crashed in one place? And I'll answer that now. So, the extinction killed so many species and so many animals for a few reasons. When the meteor hit Earth, it created a massive explosion. This explosion caused a shockwave that led to earthquakes and tsunamis that killed most of the flora and fauna in this area. So all of the animals that were in the direct impact zone or within a few miles of where the asteroid actually impacted were killed instantly due to the impact in things like earthquakes and tsunamis. This impact released a lot of heat, causing massive fires across the impact area. These fires burned up many plants, animals, and trees. So, not just the impact killed animals, sort of things that came from the impact, like fires burning down forests, and these forests or ecosystems housing animals, and there are many herbivores and animals that depend on trees and plants to survive, and these animals simply can't survive when the trees are burned down with something like this. The impact of the meteor caused a massive cloud of dust, rocks, and debris to go in the atmosphere. This debris blocked the sun and caused the planet to rapidly cool down. It made it really hard for plants to grow, and this disrupted food chains, and animals that rely heavily on eyesight may have been disrupted or have been unable to eat at all during this period, and it basically just sent the ecosystem tumbling in a lot of ways. And gases were released into the atmosphere when the meteor impacted, combined with the moisture, created acid rain. This rain is very harmful and toxic to many animals, plants, and water bodies. So think that when this acid rain falls, it gets into the water streams. These animals drink it, they die. Animals that absorb moisture through their skin, it gets into their skin and they die. the plants that need the water to grow, it gets on them and they die. It could get into the pores in their leaves, and it can harm and kill wildlife in many ways. And the combination of all of this, fires, cooling, disruption of food chains, ecosystems, impacts, earthquakes, tsunamis, it was just a recipe for disaster. And it wiped out over 80% of the species that were currently living on Earth at the time. So almost everything was killed by this. What happened after the extinction? Few animals survived the extinction, and the animals that survived were mostly small mammals, fish, a few reptiles, and amphibians, and also some plants. And they had special characteristics and adaptations that allowed their survival. Many early mammals were small, which allowed them to find shelter and food in niches that our larger animals could not access. Their small size also helped them to conserve energy and adapt to changing conditions. Mammals that could burrow or find shelter in small places had a survival advantage. These behaviors protected them from harsh elements and predators. Mammals are warm-blooded, meaning they can regulate their body temperature internally. And compared to reptiles who are cold-blooded, think about when something like that giant cloud of ash and dust covered the earth, they have no way to get energy to even eat food if they do survive everything else that's going on. And these mammals have the energy to run, hide, survive, and still eat food because they're warm-blooded and they don't depend on the sunlight for energy. And insects were highly diverse and adaptable, which allowed many species to survive. Their small size, rapid reproduction rates, and the ability to feed on a wide range of organic matter gave them an advantage. Another animal species to survive were crocodilians. These are crocodile-like reptiles. They're aquatic and they're just very tough. They're one of the oldest remaining, animals on Earth, and we still see crocodilians today. And certain plant species with hardy traits like the ability to grow and regrow from roots, produce seeds that can survive in harsh conditions or adapt to changing climate and soil conditions, manage to endure these conditions. And this brought us into a new era and led us into the modern world we know today. The next era, the Cenozoic, saw mammals and birds becoming the main animals on land. Mammals changed a lot, becoming big eaters, hunters, and even changed into humans and evolved over time like we see today, but this did not take place in the Cenozoic era. Birds also grew into different shapes and lived in many places, flying, swimming, and running. Other survivals like crocodiles, turtles, and amphibians began to thrive and evolve into the animals that we have and see today. New species can now appear, make new friendships with other living things. With the big reptile predators gone like dinosaurs, smaller mammals had a chance to do well and find new ways to stay safe. The Cenozoic era also saw pretty flowers and helpful pollinators like bees and other insects become an important part of the ecosystem, making nature more colorful and diverse than it was before in the Mesozoic. Thank you.